I'm here. There must be a lag. It says waiting for C Lahr, but I am here. Hi, everyone. I see people are slowly coming in. It says 6 people are waiting, but the lag is it's between looking at my iPad and looking at StreamYard. Hi, Janice Kleins. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy Memorial Day Eve. Hi, Joyce. Haven't seen you in a while. So glad you're here. That's awesome. Candy. Hello, hello, hello. Good to see you. Hope things are all well where you guys are at. It's the 28th, but tomorrow we're celebrating, I guess, Memorial Day. Um, but it is the 31st. I don't know when they decided not to. I guess they've decided not to celebrate holidays on the actual day uh, because they want to make a 3-day weekend out of it. But somewhere along the line, it wasn't always that way. Hi, Barbara Clark from Eureka. I love that. Eureka. It's funny. Um, I just got a Facebook message from my nephew who is a policeman in New Hampshire, and he's on the canine patrol. He's got a big German Shepherd, and they just were down in Gettysburg for a training type of session. And it just brought back all sorts of memories because I lived outside of Gettysburg for about 6 years. Um, and to me, that's Adams County, Pennsylvania. It's probably the most beautiful area I've ever lived in. And while I was waiting to go live, I actually checked out what the real estate would be like to live there. They have 4 seasons, but the winter is not crazy like outside of Buffalo. And the falls are just unbelievable. And it's rolling hills of fruit orchards because I worked at a fruit orchard there and lived in Biglerville outside of Gettysburg. So I just kind of did a little quick walk down memory lane. Beautiful area. And driving through the battlefield on a regular basis was just awe-inspiring. So that kind of ties into Memorial Day. And here's, honoring all of our people that have served and are serving currently in the military and in public service all around. I just changed my profile picture of my dad. I usually put it up for Memorial Day weekend. It's a great picture. He was a naval aviator cadet in that picture. Yeah, he was just learning to fly in Pensacola, Florida. So, well, there's 13 of you folks here. I have a reading, of course, and it's called Balloon Launch. A long time ago, I read the story about Larry Waters a while back. I didn't put the date on it, but this is a continuation. Uh, no, oh my gosh, yeah. Actually, there was I was looking at there was a new hall, like it was a new development in Gettysburg, 3-bedroom, 2-car garage, and it was 375. But I can't imagine when you get out into the country, and I don't know that I'd want to live in a brand. I wouldn't mind a new house, but on in a like a community, like a what do you call it, cookie cutter type of situation. But and I don't, yeah. I think my kids would kill. Well, I don't think they'd kill me, but if I left here, because they like the fact that I live where I live because they don't really have to worry about me. So anyway, yeah, I'm sure. Well, I can't. Yeah, I mean, real estate's crazy everywhere, and some areas are crazier than others. Um, that's kind of the price range. Okay, uh, where you are. Yeah, it's usually some of those homes I looked at uh, were like 799,000. 475 acreage, 10 acres, only $200,000 for 10 acres, which I don't know. And then you put a house on it. It's pretty expensive. Yeah. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Even where I live here, I've been in this house since 2016, and it's already almost doubled from what I paid for it. Um, that's what things are going for here. And again, we had that bubble, and then it burst, and it was really ugly. And I'm just, hoping that it doesn't go that way. Hi, Becca. Good to see you. Love the rainbows. Yeah. So I'm going to read balloon launch. I've already checked off and wrote the date, and it's kind of apropos. It's about a month early, or a couple of months early. The fourth day of the month of June, 1783, more than 200 years ago, the market square of the French village of Annonay, not far from Paris. On a raised platform, a smoky bonfire fed by wet straw and wool rags, tethered above, straining at its lines, a huge taffeta bag, a balloon, 30 feet in diameter. In the presence of a respectable assembly and a great many other people, and accompanied by great cheering, the machine de l'aérostat was cut from its moorings and set free to rise majestically into the noontide sky. 6,000 feet into the air it went, and came to earth several miles away in a field, where it was attacked by pitchfork waving peasants and torn to pieces as an instrument of evil. The first public ascent of a balloon, and the first step in the history of human flight. Old Ben Franklin was there in France as the agent of the new American states. He of the key and the kite and the lightning and the bifocals and the printing press. When a bystander asked what possible good this balloon could bring, Franklin made the memorable retort, and I'm not going to say it in French, but I'll say it in English. What good is a newborn baby? A man of such curiosity and imagination could provide an answer to his own question. And in his journal, he wrote, the balloon will open the skies to mankind. The peasants, too, were not far from wrong. It was also a harbinger of great evil for an Annonay, which would one day be leveled by bombs falling from the sky. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Some months before that June day, Joseph Michael Montgolfier, slaughtering this poor man's name, uh, sat one evening staring into his fireplace, watching sparks and smoke rise up the chimney from the evening fire. His imagination rose from with the smoke. The smoke floated into the air. Why not capture it and put it in a bag and see if the bag would rise? Perhaps carrying something or someone with it. In his mid-40s, the son of a prosperous paper maker, a believer in the great church that was science in the 18th century, a brilliant and impatient man with time on his hands, was Monsieur Montgolfier. And so, with his younger, more methodical brother, Etienne, and the resources of his father's factory, he set to work with paper bags, then silken ones, and finally taffeta coated with resins. And voila, came a day when from the gardens of Versailles, a balloon carrying a sheep, a rooster, and a duck went aloft. All survived, proving that there was no poisonous gases in the sky, as some had feared. The most enthusiastic supporter of the brothers Montgolfier was a young scientist, Jean-François Pelé de Rosière. He didn't want to make balloons, he wanted to go up in one. The Montgolfiers, I'm slaughtering this guy's name, interest was in scientific experimentation. They were older, wiser groundlings. Pelé wanted to fly. He was full of the adventure of youth. And so that fall, November 21st, 1783, Jean-François de Rosière got his wish in the garden of the royal palace at La Mute, in the Bowling, oh man, I'm sorry. In the Boys' Day Boulogne at 1:54 p.m. In a magnificent balloon 7 stories high, painted with signs of the zodiac and the king's monogram. Up, up, and away he went, higher than the treetops and church steeples, coming down beyond the Seine, 5 miles away. Joseph Michael and Etienne lived long and productive scientific lives. They died in their beds, safe on the ground. 2 years after his historic flight, trying to cross the English Channel west to east in a balloon, the young Jean Francois plummeted from the sky in flames to his death. But his great great grandson was later to become one of the first airplane pilots in France. Well, what's all this about anyway? It's about the power and the price of imagination. Imagination is more important than information. Einstein said that, and he should know. It's also a story about how people of imagination stand on one another's shoulders, from the ground to the balloon, to the man in the balloon, to the man on the moon. Yes, some of us are ground crew, holding lines, building fires, dreaming dreams, letting go and watching the upward flight. Other of us are bound for the sky and the far edges of things. That's in the story too. These things come to mind at the time of year when children graduate to the next stage of things, from high school, from college, from the nest of the parent. What shall we give them on these occasions? Imagination, a shove out and up, a blessing? Come over here, we say, to the edge, we say. Let us show you something, we say. We are afraid, they say. It's very exciting, they say. Come to the edge, we say. Use your imagination. And they come and they look and we push and they fly. We to stay and die in our beds, they to go and to die, however, howsoever, yet inspiring those who come after them to find their own edge and fly. These things come to mind too in the middle years of my own life. I too intend to live a long and useful life and die safe in my bed on the ground. But the anniversary of that little event in the village of Anaye just happens to be my birthday. And on its bicentennial, I went up in a balloon from a field near the small Skeket Valley village of La Connor, up and away. It's never too late to fly. To fly. So let me say hi to everybody. Hi, Janet. Thank you for being here. And Kathy and Miss Nettie. Wonderful to see you. Anybody here ever been up in a hot air balloon? Anybody? I almost. I mean, had paid for it almost. And you know where the flight was? This is so ironic. The flight was going to be over the battlefield at Gettysburg. And it was a fundraiser for the Gettysburg Hospital. And you could give them a donation. And this was a long time ago. And the donation was $100. And I'm talking 1973. And we had written the check and we were all ready to go. And it was just too windy. And we literally pretty much spent the whole day waiting for the wind to die down so we could go up and fly over the battlefield. Your honeymoon was in Gettysburg. Oh, wow. Gettysburg seems to be on the map today. My nephew's is in Gettysburg on a training mission. You had a friend that wanted to take you up, but you were too scared. I just think, I can't imagine over the battlefield, maybe 200 feet up, maybe a little bit higher. How cool would that be? Oh, Lord, it would have been awesome. It just wasn't meant to be. So I never got to go. But they gave us the money back. That was not an issue. So I thought today, since collage, this is quite I don't know how I can collage requires imagination. So it's all about imagination. Hi, Mary Lou. I mean, actually, just think about someone thinking about, looking at the smoke and the hot air and the sparks and saying, well, maybe I can fill something and maybe that can go in the air. Hi, Teresa. You're sitting in the balcony. Okay, that's good. That's good, as long as the air's not too thin up there. Ha, ha, ha. But it would be an amazing experience to do that. I've been flying since I was 18 months old. I flew across the country. Of course, I don't remember that. My father was stationed at the Air Force Naval Base in San Diego, Coronado, and he became ill. And so my grandmother, who lived in Rhode Island, a shout out to Rhode Island, flew across country. And this is back in the day where they were prop planes. So that was a long ass flight. And she was terrified of flying. And apparently, the story goes, she sat, never took her coat off, clutching her purse the whole flight out, picked me up, and then flew all the way back with me. And I stayed with her in Rhode Island for several months as my father slowly got better. And they finally came and I think they came and got me. Yeah, obviously they came and got me. I don't know whether she flew me back out there. No, I don't remember. I only know I was in Rhode Island for whatever. And that was my first flight. And that's back in the day. I mean, I don't remember this, but you got a little certificate. And, back in the day, when you flew with kids, the pilot would invite them up to the cockpit and they'd give them little plastic wings. Obviously, none of that's happened. Hi, Brenda. You've never been in a plane. Well, it's not meant to be, my dad worked for the airline, so I could fly pretty much anywhere for free or on standby. So I had the opportunity to travel a lot. I've even been up in a private, a little two-seater. Now that's, you're flying when you're in a two-seater. Yeah, a little Cessna. I think it was a Cessna 147. It was a tiny little plane, and we took a quick flight over to Connecticut and came back to Long Island. One of those spur of the moment things. So it seems like people have been talking about collage a lot this week. I love collage, imagination, and one person's collage is another person's, I don't know, glue book, whatever the definition, basically means to glue paper down. Decollage is not decoupage. And someone was asking what's the difference between decoupage and collage. And I looked it up in the dictionary, and they said that those words are kind of almost interchangeable. Kathy said, I only fly if I have to. I don't like it at all. I love to travel, but not if it involves flying. Yeah. Well, flying is no fun anymore. I mean, back in the day, back in the day, people got dressed up. It was a big deal. And now people, get on a plane in their underwear or, then it's not the same. And I have taken the stress out of flying as best as I can. I don't fly often, but when I do fly, I only go first class. I buy a first class ticket, and, request a wheelchair because I have trouble walking, and I try to, again, make it as stress less as possible, but it's no fun. It's not much fun anymore. But I have had the opportunity to fly in a private jet, which was unbelievable experience. I mean, if you really want to go, that's the way, to fly. Yeah, that's what we called them back then, jet setters. Yes, yeah, yeah. My parents were jet setters. Hi, Mariah. I'm glad you got my link. I always think my link is included in my name, but apparently it's not. But thank you so much for coming. I enjoyed seeing your nephew, Mariah's nephew, Josh, was on their morning stream. What a nice young man he is. Yep. He hung in there, and it was fun. It was nice to meet him, to see him. People were asking whether he hires out for streams. Violet was asking, which I thought was really cute. Hi, Stacy. I see someone saying hi to Stacy, so Stacy must be here. So back to collage, and several people, starting with Colleen, showed a collage book, and I'm going to hopefully maybe not totally bore you. We'll see. how many of you hang in there. I have my own collection. Yeah, he seems like a really nice young man. Uh, I have my own collection of collage books, and I am going to share with you my collection of some collages that I've done over the years that I like the most. And unfortunately, you know how critical we are of our own work. And so, and I'm going to share with you, I subscribe to a magazine called Collage, which just is collage, and they do some really cool stuff in there. So, but before I do collage, I want to catch you up with Messy May. I am up to date as of today, and that means I will, unless I totally F it up, screw it up, I only have the 29th, the 30th, and only have 3 more Messy Mays, and I will have completed it. Hi, Beth. Good to see you. And I haven't forgotten about the 100-day collage project. That's going to get done too. Yes, but so I'm going to, I painted the cover white, and I added some extenders to my cover of this. Again, this journal was made out of my junk mail. And I'll share with you what I got done this week. And I put little markers in it so I don't have to search. So this was the May 21st, and the prompt was Lifeline. So you just kind of do a doodle. And I love this stamp. I love this. It just says, "We are the hero of our own story." It's a Timmy stamp, and it's one of my favorites. And the prompt was Lifeline. And you just kind of scribble and doodle. So that was the 21st. And of course, again, this book is all over the place because the pages are random. Now, this 22nd is Identity, and I'm not happy with this one at all, but I will share it with you, the good, bad, and the ugly. So Identity, arty self, blah self, and trying to be happy self. So, and this is my little cartoon character of me, Annie, and my cat, Lily. One of these days, this may be a cartoon series. One of these days. I keep talking about it. The 23rd was Just Play, and this totally uninspired, but I'm showing you again the good, bad, and the ugly. The 24th was Palette, or Paletti, and you were to find a picture that you enjoyed the palette of, and then put the paints, and that was it. I love this combination, these 3 colors and the tan. It's like just kind of speaks to me. That was the 25th, the 24th. The 25th was Collaboration. So here's a collage I did, and let me see if I can't move that. It's not. Let me go this way. Let's go this way. I'm sorry. Let me go this way. All right, that's not too bad. So this is it's called Collaboration, and this is collaboration because Carol, Canadian artist, sent me a package of a lot of the travel brochures that she gathered on her journey across Canada. So I went through and I cut out a lot of the pictures. So this is technically a collaboration, right, between Carol and I. And so I have cut out the skier, and it says, "Let nature take its course, stress less." So that's my collage and a collaboration. Yeah, I like this. Is probably my favorite. Yep. So that was the 25th, and let's see what the 26th was. The 26th was Mistake. So I did it upside down because I inevitably something always has something upside down, and it didn't print the whole word. And so I did this upside down. And so that's the 26th was Mistake. The 27th was Archive. So they said to go back in your journal I journal every day. And so go back and pick a page from your journal. So this is a page out of my journal. And I got one of those shape mitt Brary things, and they give you these great stickers. And here's my little character again. So shape and love your body. So love what so that's, and the prompt for that was archive. So meaning go back and look at past journal entries. And today, let's see. Oh no. Oh, the 26th. I skipped the 26th. The 26th was scraps. So this was just a scrap. And this background paper was from the envelope that Carol sent me. And I think that's all of them. So I'm all caught up. So this book is slowly getting filled. And again, this is all junk mail. All of this was just junk mail. Maybe a week's worth of junk mail. And yeah, I upside down. Oh my gosh, I made cards, and I would stamp, the sentiment in the inside of the stamp would be upside down. I'm a great one for upside down, so I had to include an upside down. So thank you. So that's all caught up, and next Sunday I will show you the last 3 days, and this will be, and I'll continue. I'm going to continue to journal in this until it's all filled up. There's a lot of space left in here. Lots and lots. And so, and I did the travel journal type of binding, which is great because you can add to it and take paper out. So that's that one. I will do something. I know what I wanted to share with you was that quote. I love this quote. And I used it. Let me find it. It was in the upside down page. And where is it? Art, I love it. Art is the absence of fear. Isn't that a great? Hi, Vanessa. Isn't that a great quote? Art is the absence of fear. I love it. And it's by Erykyah Badu, and that's from her. And they interviewed her on some show, and she said that. And as soon as she said it, I immediately wrote it down. But art is the absence of fear. So art on and be fearless in your art. Isn't that? It's short. It's such a short quote, but it says so much. I love it. Art is the absence of fear. Another one of my favorite quotes is, how old would you be if you didn't know how old you are? Yeah. Think about that one. How old would you be if you didn't know how old you are? I like that one. All right. So you're all up to date on my Messy May journal. And I'm really enjoying it. And next, I'm going to show, I went through my book and I pulled out some collages that I did all of these collages in 2018. And I can't believe it. That's 5 years ago. When you say 2018, you don't 5 years ago just does not compute. So these are, in my mind, these are what I would consider collages, with a composition in mind, and I have an idea for a really cool collage for the upcoming, and I'll share that with you in a minute. So this is following. Whoops! All right, I might as well get out the main book. This is the book that Colleen showed, and then Dee Dee showed on Wednesday. And I bought this book in, probably 2018. It's got 50 projects. And I started out doing several of these projects. If I knew then what I know now, I know how old I would want to be. Okay. Oh, Brenda said 25. Okay, so you just switch the letters. Okay, 25. Okay. Hi, Susan. Good to see you. Hi, Kathy. Good to see you also. Thanks for stopping by. Um, yeah, I. How old would you be if you didn't know how old you? And you have to think back. When man, I don't. Well, I asked that question to Janet Young. Answered that question, and her response was she'd be a 12-year-old boy. So I thought that was. Hi, Barbara. And I don't know. How old would you be if you didn't know how old you are? I don't feel 73 years old. I don't feel 73. I think I'm 73. Yeah, I'm 73. I don't feel 73. Far from it. My body tells me I'm 73, but mentally, no, no, no. Don't feel 73 at all. But anyway, so I started out doing some of these projects. And so that's what you're going to see. So project 2, we're going to do project 1. Oh, yes, we are. And this is all right. Well, this is kind of hard to show, but the let me zoom out here because this is driving me nuts. If it's not driving you nuts, it's driving me nuts. Let me see. Adjustments. Please, adjustments. I'm going to click on that and image adjustments. And zoom. We want to not there. That's better. Okay. All right. So this is going to be glary. But the prompt for this one was white on white. So this is white on white. As you were supposed to just do white on white, and that's what I did. And a couple of numbers thrown in. Project number 2 was oh, that was project 2. We're doing project 1. Project 3 was black and white. I know many of us have black and white journals, and I have a black and white journal. But this is just black and white, and this is before I created a black and white journal. And this is one of my favorites. And project 4 was color charge. So you add basically experiment with applying color to a collage that's primarily black and white. And so that's what I did. This is a sketch, a tracing of Michelangelo. And so I added red crayon to it. So that was project number 4. Project number 5 was, and of course, how appropriate. I put it in upside down. There you go. So, and this is color plunge. Choose a color and make it monochromatic collage using various shades of that color only or mostly. Why stop there? Try making a collage for every color in the rainbow. Well, that's something to aspire to. And I, of course, I put it in upside down. And that seems to be par for the course. I only know it's upside down because fish sticks is upside down. So there it is. So it's mostly green. And I wrote on the back, choose a color, and then, or mostly. So that was that. Okay. And then the rest are just for fun. I just thought this was funny. And I cut out the pencil and put it in his hand, and I cut out the drink, and he just is up to no good. And I just thought it was a funny one. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Oh, Poscas. Have you gotten the really gigantic? I think Kathy has them, right? They're the huge ones. I did all of these. Yeah, these are all mine. And now I'm not. These are. I'm now. I'm not following the collage book. These are just my own. This is one of my all-time favorites. I just I love it. You got the Marilyn Monroe look, and I had a picture of fireflies, and I cut this all out. But this is one of my, I really like this one. Ah, thank you, Barbara. Thumbs up would be great. I would love that. And this one too. This is just, I love the, got the little guy running through the field and the spaceman. This is one of my, these are all my, these are all really, again, I did all of these in 2018. I did these 5 years ago and haven't done really much since. And then here's another one with space. And here's my Michelangelo. I traced it with the Stabilo. I think this is probably the first time I ever used a Stabilo. And I see I've got some napkin in the background. And yeah. And this one, I had this picture of these models in my stash for several years. And I just thought I'd like the juxtaposition of, the ultra modern, rich, fancy to the abject poverty of this little girl. And these were pictures of the slums of Mumbai, I do believe, in India. And I did this one for Mother's Day. So I've got various Madonnas. So this was a Mother's Day. So I had a plan in my brain. And then, sometimes just these pictures are from the New Yorker magazine, and the change you want to see in the world is vote. And this is just kind of, there's an eyeball here. I don't know if you can see it, but there's an eyeball there. And quiet, please. And this kind of reminds me of somebody with a migraine. And this one is, I said it's okay. It really is just okay. And the reason why, weaving is, but this is handmade paper that I had made. I actually had made, you make the mulch of the paper and it becomes like just a mulch of stuff. And then you kind of press all the liquid out and let it dry. So it's very textury, and I made a little collage out of it. And then this has got nothing to do with collage. It was I don't even know how to explain what it is, but it's a sketch I did. And I just had taken a walnut stain or something, ink, and just smeared it on the page. And then I saw a face. I don't know. I saw a hat. I saw something, and I just started to sketch. And I'm not really very good at any of this. This just happened. Hi, Devin. Hi, Dar. Good to see you. And it just, it came out as that's what it is. So that's my, current, what again, 2018. All of these were done in 2018. And I'm so glad I dated them. A lot of times we don't date stuff, and it's so important to date it. And it's so nice to be able to realize that, wow, I did that 5 years ago. So that's, and hopefully I can add some more to them. The other thing, one of my ideas, as you say in New York, ideas is, and I started it. It's in another book, and I didn't get very far, but it would be fun to take the alphabet, right? And starting with the letter A, write a haiku. Write the haiku first. Now, a haiku they're not difficult to write, especially once you get into the groove of them. I do believe, and I meant to look it up. I forgot to look up haiku. I do believe the first line is just 5 syllables, not 5 words, 5 syllables. The middle line is 7 syllables, and the third line is another 5 syllables. And that's it. That's a haiku. It's 575. I'm almost 100% sure. And it's a short poem. Doesn't have to rhyme. And I started writing like a haiku. I wrote a haiku for the letter. I remember the one for B, I do believe. And then after I wrote the haiku, then I did a collage. Okay, the haiku was a Japanese poet from 3 lines. Oh, I had it right. Oh my gosh. Well, thank you. Thank you. All right, so I had it right. It is 575 syllables, not words. Yes, syllables. Yep. And they're a lot of fun. They're a lot of fun to do. And then you can make a collage based on whatever the haiku's about. I did one about a cat, and I carved out a cat stencil to put on the for the haiku for the collage. You've got this. Okay. I even tried to date. Oh, coloring. Well, that's yeah. Why not? Because it's sometimes that date. It triggers like you remember. Oh, that's the day that I don't know. The washing machine stopped working, and I was pissed off, and that's why my coloring is a little. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly. You've seen this collage book. And what my plan is, and I know you're probably going to go, no, I'm not going to do it. Yeah, I think that wouldn't be a bad idea, Kathy. And then, if you did that, I mean, Z might be difficult. However, I mean, it just has to start with the Z, but there's 26, literally, there's 26 ideas for collages, and they can be small ones. Because that's what we're going to attempt to do in a couple of minutes here. And it's actually the project number 1 out of this book. So here's some of my collage books. This is a little one, the Collage Ideas book. Aunt Bex has this book. And again, when I ordered it, I was kind of surprised that it was this small, but it's fine, I often just date month and year. Well, okay, month and year. I think the year is important, Then you can say, oh my gosh, I did that, 10 years ago, or I did that last year. Exactly where I keep encased in dark blue. Okay, you see it. That's good. So this is one, again, I've got little markers as to ones that I want to do. I love this one. Again, these are ideas, and I copied that. That's from uppercase. I did that. Okay. And let's see. I did this one. I did with the matchbox, and I made a shadow box out of the little matchboxes and put little trinkets inside of that. So I did that one, and that was a lot of fun. But again, this is just really chock full. Even though it's a little itsy bitsy book, it's got lots of neat stuff in it. So this is a good one. All right. Now this is an exceptional one because it's Nick Bantock. And if you're anybody familiar with Nick Bantock, this is one of his books. He's, I guess, most known for was it Sabine stories? Sabine and somebody else. And he had this wonderful game called Dubious Documents, which is a great game. Let me just read some. And one is the loneliest number. Yeah. Make sure it is sugar-free. Okay. And exactly where I keep. Okay. Turn into collage book to our giveaway, things to cut out. And collage, I have that. I think I have. Oh, okay. I might have that one. Thank you. The Griffith and Sabine. And this is creating curious collage. And this kind of collage, I mean, he's phenomenal, but his collage are at another level that most of us, I mean, I've actually tried to duplicate some of this stuff, And it's been very difficult because, and he wrote this for his mom. Aw. And he tells you, well, just basically, just go, go into an all used bookstore and go into the back, and there'll be boxes. And I'm imagining him like in London and going into a used bookstop, shop somewhere in, London, down at, a street somewhere, and in the back there's dusty boxes full of, ephemera. Well, I don't, at least not where I am. And so he talks about where to find ephemera and making faux mail. Well, a lot of us make faux postage, but I've actually tried to mix two stamps together. But this is what he's done: a rubber stamp and a Cinderella. And so he talks about creating faux mail. I mean, look at some of this stuff. Is this not gorgeous? With stamps and ephemera. He is just amazing. And dubious documents, you take documents and you change them up. I mean, this book alone is just eye candy. I mean, you can just look at it and just drool. Now, this isn't too, I've got fish stamps and I've got music paper. So this one wouldn't be, and he calls this fish music. I like that. And skeletons with a lettuce head. And this is kind of that surrealistic kind of collage kind of stuff. And, but this book is just, yeah. You can just, yeah. It's just amazing. And photographs, and he talks about different things to do with photographs. It's a beautiful book. Bird of Paradise. I've got a big bird of paradise that in my front yard. So this is Nick Bantock. And Urgent Second Class. Amazing book. That's one of my faves. It's one of those things that, I've tried. All right. I won't spend that much time on the others, but we got time. Anyway, so this is a book that I bought recently. It's Birds in Watercolor Collage and Ink. It's another. Hi, Colleen. Hey, Joggles. Wait a minute. Joggles? 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 Or are you calling Colleen Joggles? I'm so. Oh, you did it, Devin? Oh my gosh. Yeah. Well, Dee Dee turned me on to the dubious documents, right? So I bought it and I took it to my friends who live up in Cape Canaveral. And these are the folks that I go and I spend the night because we have a few. So I never attempt to drive home. I always spend the night. So I brought along, that's what I figured. So I brought along dubious documents and I said, hey, I think this would be fun for us to work on. So I go up there maybe once a month or so. Now, when we started playing dubious documents, remember, we've had a couple of drinks, we've had dinner, but drinking has been part of this, and we attempt to solve the puzzle. We had a blast. But it took us a long time to finish it, and we didn't want it to end. And when we finally solved the puzzle, so to speak, and the artwork in it is amazing. I tried to find something else close to that, and there really isn't anything out there that's even close to it. Yeah, it was Maura and Sean, myself, and Maura's son Eddie. So there was 4 of us trying to solve it, and we got serious. We took notes and we deciphered everything. It was a lot of fun. So yeah, we had a blast, but I can't find anything close to it. I bought a murder mystery type of thing, and it was expensive, and it came like in 6 1-month installments, and we tried it, and it just didn't do it for us. But anyway, so I saw the dubious documents that you had solved it. And I know Dee Dee said that she and Janet did it on, I guess, together on the phone, and they solved it. I don't know what she said, a couple of hours. I'm thinking, oh my God, it took us forever. The Book of S, I bought it. I've read it. Now they tell you the Book of S is another. That's a very, and I guess there's a whole website about the Book of S, right, Devin? There's a whole big following, and the suggestion is you read the book, you read the story first, and ignore, because it's filled with ephemera and all sorts of stuff is stuck into the book, and you just read the book as a story, and then you go back. I hope you're not bored, but this is just one of those. This is the book, and of course, DD enabled. I'm easily enabled, but this is, and it comes sealed because there's a lot of stuff, and so what it is, it's there's a story by this fictional author, and it's a really weird story, but there's two people in the library that are writing to one another in the margins of this book, and then they're leaving the book on the shelf. So, and again, it's filled with ephemera, but you can see that there's all of this correspondence that's being written. And the one guy, I think, is working on his doctorate, and he's about to be kicked out, and they're talking, and they kind of have this, they're kind of dating. And I don't know, they make several attempts at meeting one-to-one, face-to-face. So you read the story, and then you go back and you read all of this. This is all where this stuff belongs, so I don't want to, but the book is full of all sorts of, but you have this whole conversation that's going on in the margins of the book. And so I read The Ship of Theseus, and that's as far as I got. So, and I don't even know what you're supposed to solve. Oh, this would keep you busy. And it comes, and it's beautifully, it's in, and this is all sealed to make sure that all the parts are supposed to be in it. Yeah. But the story is really odd, very odd. So the Book of S is just the name of it. So it's not really, we got a little bit of a rabbit hole, but since I had it, I thought maybe you'd like to see it. We like those escape room games. Ah, yes, yes. I used to make very simple escape rooms for my students. When we were doing like something in history, I would, kind of make an escape. I've never been to one, where you actually physically go to an escape room, but they are pretty cool. Yeah. So this book is, well, again, eye candy, but she includes a lot of stuff that you can tear out. I don't know whether I'd want to use glossy stuff in a collage, but she gives you some ephemera, and there's some birds and stuff. I did one of her pieces of, just tore one out. I did one of hers on a stream. Let me see. I'll show you which one I did. It's on the wall behind me. But again, paint chips, drawing with ink. Let's see, I did this one. These are fun. Cut out the birds from different. I did this piece. I did this one. Carol and I did this in a stream, and this was a lot of fun. And this was a picture of a seagull that she just doodled on. It came out. Hi, lovely Malaya. It's good to see you. Anybody else I miss coming in? So nice to see everybody here. So this is a fun book. I mean, again, she's got some beautiful stuff. And, well, let me show it to you. It's right behind me. Hanging right next to my sea urchins. So here it is. So this was a fun one to do. I mean, And so I basically followed this. So this was my inspiration for that. So that was fun to do. So this is, again, lots of bird stuff, a lot of fun, a lot of doodling and collage stuff from nature. And it's a beautiful book, you know, it's nicely done. So birds in watercolor, collage, and ink, field guide to art techniques and observing in the wild. All right, so there's that one. And then there's creative collage techniques, a step-by-step guide, including 52 demonstrations and the work of over 60 artists. I've done nothing. I know, aren't the birds in that beautiful? I've done nothing with this book. I kind of, you know, the paper, you know, making and designing charts. Again, I buy these books and then I figure I have all intentions of, you know, doing these. And I haven't even seriously looked at this one. So this one owes a better look at. And maybe after this stream, I will be inspired to look at this one. It's got beautiful, again, I love it when they have projects and, you know, realistic collage, step by step. And so this has got a lot of goodies in it. All righty. This one I've done several collages. I've used several of these projects. Project Collage, 50 projects to spark your creativity. And I need a lot of sparking. I need a friggin' fire under my ass sometimes to get me going. But I've done several of these, and I've used some of these techniques on birthday cards and stuff. Now look, my thing's okay, already cut out to do that. But this kind of, you know, a lot of us have done this before, but that's fun. Let's see. Where's the one I did? It fell out. Oh, I did this one, and this is kind of a fun one to do. You just take different colors of paper, and this is a Timmy girl, and so this was a lot of fun to do. And there's several of them that I've actually done in terms of repeat. You know, you repeat the same kind of thing. So this one's a good. I've done this. I did this one from my brother for a birthday card for him. I had a picture behind the tissue paper was a picture of the house that we grew up in, and then I had a picture of him, a black and white picture of him when he was about 12 or 13 with a basketball holding a basketball, which was black and white. So I covered the house in blue tissue paper and brought him and put him in black and white. And this is the same photo. And all they did was cover in tissue paper and then cut out one figure, which I think is, and I think it's pretty cool. And it's a pretty easy technique to do. So this is well, they're all, you know, kind of cool. Deconstruct, take a picture, and that's one of the projects, and take a picture, cut it in pieces, and then do it, you know, put it all back together again differently. Hi, Kathy Arbor. And this is the one that kind of started it all. Did it? This is the one Colleen showed. Right? Roxanne Evans Stout, Storytelling with Collage. And I don't think any of us have done anything in this yet. I don't think we have. Well, that's just for you guys. No. And again, oh, wow. Here's Seth. I opened it, Seth Apter. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? The 3D stuff. Oh, another person you got to take, and if you haven't checked her out, Um, Hi, Ray. Good to see you. Is her YouTube channel is called East of Honey. Um, and she just did a 3D collage in a shadow box. This is more assemblage. Is that what it's called? Assemblage? Assemblage? Assemble. Not assembly, but assemblage. There's Seth. Oh, look at that. A little bit of plumbing going on. Isn't that cool? From This Land Collage Challenge. That would be fun. So this is our storytelling from Roxanne Evans Stout. What was the other book? There was another book that she had that I think Colleen. Oh, I know. And I bought it too. It's in the other room. It was the Sean Petit book that this woman put together, and it's kind of like the magazine or the publication called Blossoms, and has all of the different pictures. It's pictures to inspire, and it had inspired Sean Petit to do one of her book of courage and curiosity. So that's where that other book is from. And almost done, folks. I tell you, look at this one. Collage Your Life. Look how many books. And there's hundreds of books, and I feel like I have 8 of them. Again, this is another book that I haven't spent much time with, but it's got some great techniques to try. Rubber stamps. All of us done this. We've stamped with various different things, corks, and a lot of us have made our own stamps. I make a lot of I make a lot of stamps out of the kid foam. The sheets of foam that I cut out and glue, and then just draw with a pen and make a stamp. And I'll make them. They're like one-off stamps. They're like for an occasion I need a stamp, a very specific stamp, and I'll make just one using carving into that foam. And this is pretty. Prompt: cover a wall with paper. Cover a wall. Okay. Wallpaper. Find your voice. No, look at all these prompts. This might be something that we may have to revisit. That's a good one. And I think this is the one that you're going to give out, Mariah. If you can cut, you can collage. I think this is the one that you might be as one of you. Did you make it? I know you were at 5,999 subscribers as of this morning, I think. I don't know whether Mariah is still here, but they're really close, really close. I can't imagine being, and I know it, we all went through just kind of making, and I'm losing subscribers. I don't know. I don't understand. It is what it is. But I had 614 and now I'm down to 611, and I just give up. It is what it is. I'm looking books. You're donating extraordinary things. Yes, that's a great one. They have another one. They have a whole bunch of them now, but there's another one that's got really creepy stuff in it that I don't think I would use. But the first one is amazing. Yeah, I've got a lot of. That's another thing that we could share. I mean, all of the different books, that the ephemera books that we buy. But that one is the best. That's the best. The other one, the Antica or whatever that one is. I always forget to use it unless we need it in a prompt for when Kathy and Colleen have the prompt cards. A lot of times I'll go to that one. Okay. You think you may have this one? This one is this is a good one too. I mean, in the sense that I have messed around with some of these exercises. And there's one here where you can, and I'm very tempted. I'm very, very tempted. And they're very simple exercises to do. They're not overwhelming, just to get the feel of it, rhythm, and I have trouble with composition. Um, okay, you have collage your life. Yeah, use it. Yeah, we all need to. Yeah, there's one in here where they suggest that you. Oh, look, they even have collagey stuff in the back. Lots of it. Oh, wow, holy mackerel, lots of it. Where they suggest that you mix up like a wheat paste like paint, and you paint like a big kind of like collage, a big picture on an outside wall of your house. Um, not like sidewalk, but on like, I mean, if you really had a lot of cojones, you could do your garage door, and it's the type of stuff that you could just wash down with a hose. And I have a wall out here. I call it my lizard wall because that's where all the lizards hang out. Hi, Sophia. But I thought it would be really neat, and it would give my neighbors something to look at if I painted this section of the wall of my house, maybe just a couple of big flowers and a like a fake garden. All right, Sophia is not here, just so you know. It would be fun to just do like a mural, and they have like the recipe in here for that paint. But this book I have looked at this book numerous times. And have I done any of these things? I've done a couple. And I don't know where they are, but again, good intentions, right? And this one is the only one that I can honestly say that I don't like. I don't know why. Handmade collage. I don't know. There's no reason not to like it, but I don't really like it that much. And there's no reason not to like it. She's talking about composition, which I need to really, and cutting out and putting together. And they give you everything you need, right? Everything you need to create these collages. You cut everything out and you put it all together, and voila, here is the collage. And in the back are all of these elements to make this tropical utopia. So additional elements. So I guess, so you can make all this stuff. And they give you everything. As my grandmother would say, everything. Magical menagerie. So all of those elements are in the book. And here's the paper, and you can build these. Each one of these you can build. I thought I had done one. Maybe not. I thought I had done one. Oh, I thought I had done this one with the little mouse. Of course, you can copy those, scan them, so you don't have to use the book. But yeah, this one. Yeah. Mouse's Mushroom Forest. So I don't know why I don't like it. There's something, I don't know. No, I can't put my finger on it. See, this is kind of cute. Bonnie Birdie. Poor Bonnie Birdie. Woo! It's kind of scary. I think she's things that nightmares are made of. Bonnie Birdie. Okay. Gosh, quite the legs. Anyway. Let's see. You'll be pleased to know the stamping all went. Okay. You said huzzah. My grandson just learned the word huzzah, and he loves it. And it's in some game that he plays. It's called My Singing Monsters. I got the lowdown on the Singing Monsters last Sunday, and oh my God, my eyes were rolling up into my head. But it's amazing. If he could know all of that about that game, I wish he knew that much about his schoolwork. Yeah, maybe that's it. Yeah, I think maybe that's the amount of. I don't mind fussy cutting, but that's really little fussy cutting. I think maybe that's it. What's going on with Ray? Sorry, Sophia. I'm sorry, Ray. Okay. You should not be here. I'm sorry, I'm not really reading chat. I'm just blabbering away here, running at the mouth. I hope everybody's okay. You probably want to, yeah, I think maybe that's part of it. It's just too much of it's done for you. Oh, you have carpal tunnel? I understand that's a real bitch to deal with. And I don't know about the surgery. I guess that's not easy either. So this, I think maybe that's it. It's the stuff is too small and everything's done for you. And yeah, I wouldn't think I had created anything. I mean, it's, but anyway, enough said. Enough said. All right. Now, I've got one more, and I don't know whether you would consider this collage or it's called paper painting, when you create pictures with little pieces of paper. But this is a beautiful book. I have 2 of them, and I'm eventually going to give one away. I bought 2 by mistake. Turn your art and photos into personalized collages. I want to do my son's Cape Cod house in this. Oh. And she gives you collages, paper in the background, but she basically tells you how to take, it is collaging, yeah. That you take a, from a photograph, you make pictures, and here's like the San Francisco. Here's the bridge, and someone has made this, and then within the book you'll have bug elements, and cut out and make bugs and birds, veggie variations, and house plants. Now I have done some of these, and these are fun. They really are. I've done little postcards in the garden, and again, I've done this one. I love this one. This is a seaside town, and I've done this one. And she tells you, you don't cut this out, but she kind of gives you the seaside scenes. Oh, and the other thing, fabric collage, right? There's always fabric collage. I did a fabric, I guess you would call it a collage, where I did a like a folk art scene, and I did it all in fabric and embellishments and bits and pieces of fabric, and that would be considered collage. Over the weekend, I made, I don't even know what it was, but I did, it was called a prayer tag. No, prayer, not a prayer thing like Dee Dee makes, but a prayer. Oh, I can't remember what the name of it is, but it would be collage in material, and I just, I made 2 of them, and they're just random pieces of, and I have one that has hope. That's my 2023 word is hope and peace. And these are just pieces of fabric scraps. And I just went, I didn't do any hand stitching. I mean, I just went wild with my little sewing machine. Bye, Devin. Thank you so much for being here. Have a wonderful evening and the rest of the weekend. Yeah, they came out pretty good. And again, I was just stitching like crazy. And I had some composition going here, a little, 3s, yellow, and the here. And what this is you start out, they used duck canvas. duck canvas. And they painted it with a layer of gesso. Now, I didn't have duck canvas, but a while back I bought a canvas painter's drop cloth. And this is heavy, heavy duty canvas. It's a drop cloth. I kind of like that too. And I put a layer of gesso on it. And then you scribble with Neo 2s. You can see some of my scribbling behind here. I got some Neo 2s, a Stabilo. I scribbled with my Stabilo pencil, and then filled in with some Neo 2s. And then you varnish that with a matte varnish. And then you add your fabric scraps. And again, this is with my no-name sewing machine. And I put it through I put it through its paces yesterday. And so I made these yesterday. So this is a form of collage, right? Yeah. Yeah, these were a lot of fun to make. And I happen to have these are Crayola. This is a Crayola brush. But I got it at the Goodwill. I got a whole bunch of them, and I thought that would be a good hanger for them. I don't know. But yeah, that is collage. It's cloth collage. And so I guess I've been doing a little bit of collage here, various different types of collage. Let me show you. This one I did on a 12 by 12 box canvas. And I guess you'd consider this collage. Well, or an assemblage. And this was Mary Lou's idea, to put a little pelican down here. I don't know if you can see him, but he's down here in the corner. And but this was all, well, I guess I sewed that on. You can see it's just a box canvas, 12 by 12. And I got rocks, but this is all painted and this is all sewn on. Some lace. And this is from a folk art book that I have. And the title of the painting of this is Newport. Yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking assemblage, collage, or something. Yeah. So I used a lot of buttons and buttons. Yeah, I had fun making this. I actually have this hanging. Some rope and a hot glue gun. Yeah, this was fun. And Newport was the name of the painting. It's out of a little folk art book that I have, and I just kind of replicated that in fabric. So that's another type of collage, I guess. Yeah. I guess I did so on the back. Yeah, I had fun doing that. Okay. Now, I don't know whether anybody's up for this. And maybe it's something that we could do. Well, I'm going to try it. I'm going to try to do in front of you. I'm going to try to do project number 1 out of collage, the workbook. I know that Kathy and Colleen were looking at the bird collages in here because Colleen loves birds. Did we talk about the Merlin app, Colleen? Do you know about the Merlin app? I'm pretty sure you do, right? I'm sure Aunt Bex shared that a while ago. If not, you've got to download the Merlin app because you guys go and watch birds, and anybody that's interested in birds, it's called Merlin, and it's developed by Cornell Labs. And good night, Sophia. I know it's past your bedtime, and thanks for stopping in. I so appreciate it. That would be great. And all you have to do is, if you can't recognize the bird, Merlin will. Oh my gosh. Colleen, write this down. Write it down. Merlin. It's called Merlin. Merlin, like the magician Merlin. Cornell Labs. Yes, thank you. And it'll identify the birds by the sound they make. I went out on my porch, and there have been birds chirping out there like crazy, and all of a sudden it identified a northern cardinal, a northern mockingbird, a Cooper's hawk, and it just identifies them, and it brings them all up, and it'll even give you a picture of whatever the bird is, and it does it by, and it'll do a visual identification, but it'll also do it by just listening to the bird sing. It is phenomenal. And yeah, I told my son about it. He said, "Oh yeah, we've been using that for a while now." I said, "Well, thanks for sharing." And this is what it looks like. It's just got a little bird right here, Merlin app. Cornell Labs, select bird ID. Get photo ID, sound ID. That's what you would want, the sound ID. It's unbelievable. You will love it. I mean, because on your walks, I mean, you probably know all the birds that you see, but that's a good point, Janice. I wonder if it can tell when a mockingbird imitates other birds. Huh. I don't know. I don't know. All I know is I've got a northern mockingbird, and I've got a northern, yeah, you're going to love it. And it's free. And a northern cardinal. And I've heard this bird, I don't know how many times I've heard this bird off in the distance and never knew what it was. And now I know it's a Cooper's hawk. And I wasn't even outside. I was standing inside. I was standing inside my porch. And so I wasn't even outside, and it was able, that's how they were loud enough. It was able to pick up their songs. And yeah, it's cool. Anybody that's interested in birds. Oh, you heard turkey. Oh, that's cool. Where I used to live in Western New York, turkey calling was an art. I mean, men spent, oh my God, they made the turkey callers, and they would have contests in calling in turkeys. Now that's a real art. All right, so, gosh, project 1 is this. Make 5-minute collages on 3x5 heavy watercolor paper. You will find this exercise really freeing without time to overthink what you're doing. The result will be intuitive and interesting. To begin, simply go through some magazines, cut out the pictures and pieces of imagery that catch your eye. If you have some images pre-printed on tracing paper, put these in the mix too. When you think you have enough, set a timer for 5 minutes and get to work. The trick is to keep your hands moving, picking out images, playing with arranging them, and then gluing them down. When the timer goes off, pull out more images and move on to the next collage. 25 minutes later, you'll be surprised at what you have created. So, because usually they are silent. No. I mean, I don't know. The northern nightingale and northern mockingbird were like on my side of the pond, and on the other side of the pond, that's where the Cooper's hawk was. He was across the pond, up in a tree, I guess. At least that's where it sounds like the sound was coming from. So I don't know. I don't know what a Cooper's hawk looks like, but I've heard that squawk, a lot, but there was quite a distance. But let's see, Janet. Oh, hi, Janet. Yeah. Anybody? Let's see. It's 6:24. Should we just try like one? My problem is, thinking too much. But I'm gonna try one or two. We'll see how it goes. Let's see how many of you, I mean, this is really an index card. Oh, they are pretty? Okay. I don't think I've ever seen one, honestly. Now I've heard one. Uh, we've got a lot of ducks. We have the mallard, basically mallards out here. Um, so these are basically index size cards, right? So if you have an index card, you could probably play along or attempt to play along. Yeah, that's close enough. Yeah, why didn't he just say index card? I don't know. He didn't. All right. So I'm going to do this. Now, it's going to take a couple of minutes, and I'm getting fresh images because I have lots of magazines. Let's see. We have had them. Oh, the hawks. Oh, cool. Yeah, we have eagles here too. And obviously we have a lot of sandhill cranes. And those are and when they start squawking, and they're amazing because they're really big birds. And they start dancing, and the males, they'll be doing like a territorial dance, and they'll jump up and down, and they'll flap their wings, and they're just kind of. There was a territorial battle that went on for a good 5 minutes the other day, and finally, the one sandhill crane. I'm assuming it was two males doing a territorial dance. I can't tell them apart, male and female. And it went on for at least 5 minutes, and finally, the one literally flew off. Gave up. Yeah, they're huge. And then we have great blue herons here, and the sandhill crane. I didn't realize sandhill cranes migrate, but the population that lives here is permanent. They live here permanently. They're not migrating cranes. And then I've pelicans. Whole bunch of pelicans will land and swim and hang out in the pond. It's like a potty break. They come in and they land, and they swim around, and when they all turn, it's amazing. There's usually about 6 pair of pelicans, white pelicans, and they'll one turns, they all turn in unison, and then they'll swim back out to the other end of the pond, and so they'll come in for a quick break, and then they'll take off. And they're kind of cool. Bird feeders and catch. Ooh, we talking about birds? And let's see. Usually, a silent when a cooper's horns around. The cooper hawk is pretty. Oh, the hawks like to catch the little songbirds for lunch. Yeah. I once saw. I don't know whether they're going to get. And this was my friend and I were having lunch out on Long Island, out near Montauk, and we were having lunch. And it was like on a marina. And as we're sitting there having a lobster roll, right? There was a mama duck and about 5 or 6 little ducklings swimming around, where the boats were docked. And all of a sudden, the seagull comes swooping down off like a telephone pole and grabs one of the ducklings and swims off with and flies off with it. And the mama's quacking, and the babies are, making a racket, and the duckling that he's making a racket. I didn't know that seagulls would. I know they like French fries, but I didn't know that they would literally snatch a live duckling. It was. We were like speechless, absolutely speechless. And then the seagull flew off with the duckling in its grasp, and it had it in its mouth. It didn't like grab it and hang on to it with its claws. It just snatched it. It was like, oh my God! I don't know. That it just we were just heartbroken. We just couldn't believe that a seagull would. I didn't think they would eat. I guess they would. They eat fish and all that stuff, but I didn't know that they would. The herons too. They'll eat baby ducks. Yeah, large fish will too. Well, yeah, I guess they're really defenseless. Yeah, I've got my I've got maybe possibly baby turtles. I mean, I've got a turtle that laid some eggs in my garden, so we'll see. I didn't think so either. That's why steal food and fish from me, yeah, all the time at Cape Cod. Well, we were on, yeah. I mean, I know that the seagulls, if you're anywhere near water and you go to McDonald's, man, they love the McDonald's French fries. I'm sure they must have high cholesterol, all the French fries that they consume. Yeah, that just shocked us. I stepped out of my classroom one day, and in Florida, the schools are not like northern schools. When you open the classroom door, you're literally opening to the outside. There's no, it's like a covered walkway, but it's not like a hallway that you have like in a northern school. And I stepped out of my room, out of my classroom one day, and I looked down, and in front of my classroom on the lawn was a fish, like a big, I mean, a huge fish, and it was still kind of alive. And I'm looking up. I said, "My God, is this the end of the world? It's raining fish." And I called one of the janitors, and I said, "Willie," I said, "I've got a live fish outside my classroom," and we surmised that the osprey, they had built osprey decks for them to nest at the school, and the school was maybe 2 blocks away from the river, and the osprey must have caught the fish in the river and couldn't hang on to it and dropped it. And it just happened to drop it outside my classroom, and fortunately it didn't land on a kid. That would have been interesting if a kid got hurt by a fish dropped by an osprey. Yeah, they have osprey nests, and then they actually had a webcam on one of the nests, and the kids could watch the babies hatch and the mom feeding the babies. Dropped by an eagle. Yeah. Oh, you think that's okay? Yeah. Okay. It's amazing. I mean, I love wildlife, but the brutality of survival, in the wild is yeah. If you notice, if you watch any of the Disney wildlife movies, they might show an animal chasing another animal, but very rarely do they ever show the kill, because it's brutal. It's absolutely brutal. And so, all right, I'm going to try this. We can talk. I'm going to grab some magazines. I've got tons of magazines, and I know that my pictures are going to have to be kind of on the small side. And I'm only going to grab a handful, and let's try Town and Country. Maybe this head right here. That might be an interesting. Okay, take that maybe, and like that. These are beautiful pictures. Oh, maybe an eye. Dropped by an eagle. That sounds like a song. Where's Barbara? Maybe Barbara. Do you know a song? Dropped by an eagle. We'll take some eyes, maybe. All right. I was getting ready to put the garbage out, and then I realized there won't be any garbage pickup tomorrow. If you normally have garbage pickup on Monday, can I use a part of that watch? Maybe a little piece of it. Huh? There won't be. Ooh, look at this pattern. That's cool. I like that pattern. That could be. All right, let's take some pattern. All right. Anyway. Ooh, just a little piece of gold. Gold is one of those things that you always like a little piece of gold, right? A little gold here and there. 24 karat. What is that? Huh. Oh. Little, aw, look at these little ladybugs. Oh, I like this blue too. This is, what a pretty blue, huh? cash. Oh, wow. Look at all. Well, let's see. This is one of those magazines that I stopped subscribing to. I tell you that story all the time, and you know the subscription is just ended, and all of a sudden, we miss you. We want you to come back. And then they offer you, and they make you an offer that you can't refuse. So this was one of those. I got it for $8 for a year's subscription, and they threw in Bon Appetit. Well, how can you say no to? It's a pretty magazine. We got a little nice scenery here, possibly. Maybe. You know, the other thing I always forget to look for is wordage. You know, I always forget to schmooze or lose. Social network. Oh, look at this. Oh my gosh. Oh my God. Need all of this. See, this is something like this I would copy. And I would put it in my journal. I do that a lot. If I see a picture that I like, I copy it into my daily journal. Actually, this would be kind of neat. This dude on the ladder, huh? That would be kind of interesting to see him. He could be on one of those little cars. Yeah. All right. Save this, save this. Carb Smart ice cream. I don't know, what does it mean to take the carbs out of ice cream? I don't know. There's no fat in carbs, so. There's no carbs in vodka either. Just saying. I don't know what I want. No, maybe just that little piece of red. I got a lot of red. Notice that? Let's see. Oh, well, I think I might have enough. I have some thoughts on this, but I won't share them with you. A lot of jewelry in here. They also have this, it's not in this one, but they have a beautiful fairy. Oh, I saw this earlier. A beautiful watch with a fairy on it. I'll cut that out to send to Jen. Oh, all right. Oh, I can smell the perfume. I don't know where it is, but I can smell it. Oh, yes, that's pink. Now that's pink. I'm not a pink fan, though. Is everybody still here? We've had dropped by an eagle forever. We're all good? Okay. Oh, look at that little mouse. Oh, dear me. Oh, don't tear. I'm not a real good tearer. It's hard to tear horizontally. But you see that little mouse? He's adorable. Okay, let's see what we got. Oh, I'm almost through this magazine. Let me just finish this magazine. That's another thing where you take, oh, thank you. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. I was afraid. Okay. All right, let's see. Aries. This month, with the sun in earthy Taurus and Jupiter also entering the sign, you'll be at the start of a new phase regarding practical and especially financial matters. Be ready to consider some major changes. Venus at the foundation of your chart by the 7th emphasizes caring for and cherishing those who count. And Mars whips up your social life. Oh, my social life's getting whipped up by Mars. Oh, be still my heart. Is it this month? Yes. Oh my gosh. It is this month. Oh, this is a current. Oh, this is a current. Oh, look. Well, I was looking at Gettysburg as an area to move to, so that's what I did. And starting something new, my haiku collage idea. I'm glad you're still here. So I don't know where it all begins. Okay. Now, okay, that's a hat. Okay. Oh, this guy. Oh my gosh. I can't believe people voted for this guy. This guy is unbelievable. He is just, they couldn't make a movie about, he's like Walter Mitty. The average brain is, and this brain. All right, I'm almost done. Oh, these are pretty colors though. If I just did a color thing. Oh. Da Vinci, a double major. Oh, look at these eyeballs. I remember when my sister used to do this to her eyelashes, and I was terrified. I didn't know what it was, and she would do it every morning to her eyes as she got ready for school. It scared the living bejeebies out of me. I thought she was, doing something horrible to her eyes. Little did I know all she was doing was curling them. She was a big, typical 1950s, poodle skirt and bobby socks and makeup. And oh, look, that's Andy Warhol. Oh, these guys are kind of interesting. They may be too big. I don't know. All right. Well, that's, if you're interested, that's Town and Country for the very, very month of May. Let's see. Now, let's just see. Now, he said the object is for your hands to not stop moving. Well, I don't know. You think that 5? Or you hated watching your mom do that? Yeah, it was like, it scared the, it was like the most, and when you think about it, why women did all this shit, excuse my French. It was not, it was to be attracted to men. It's not, I don't think you should go out purposely to be unattractive, but I'm going to cut these down just a little bit, if you don't mind, before I put the timer on, because I don't think, that would not be realistic. It would take me 5 minutes to cut these out. So, and if we run out of time, then you'll have to come back next week to see what I ended up with. I'll just throw that on the floor. Anybody have plans for tomorrow? Yeah, thumbs up would be great. I would love that. I would love to know that you're loving me. Anybody have plans for Memorial Day? I'm going up to Cape Canaveral to spend the evening with Maura and Sean Hegarty. I'm gonna miss them. They're going to Ireland. That's when they're from. They're from Ireland. They're going to Ireland for 6 weeks, so they're not going to be around. So I will miss them greatly. I've been to Ireland a couple of times to visit them. And then Maura said, I can't stand the Irish winters. And what Maura wants, Maura gets. So they live in Florida. She had lived in Florida before. And the Irish winters are, like 45, 40, 45-ish and wet and damp and just, you know, raw. I know many of you know what that is. Raw. The weather is raw to the bones. No plans? Okay. I didn't even realize it was Memorial Day weekend. I thought, what happened to May? I mean, my God, the months are just flying by. Okay, and I have to make a birthday card for my son, my grandson. Again, I was talking about, he's into some game called My Singing Monsters. Did I throw my mouse away? Oh no. Oh shit. Oh, I almost did. I didn't. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I just threw it right on top of a magazine. Oh, thank you. Woo. Thanks, Susan. Woohoo. Oh, gosh. I should have cut this out more carefully, but I will. Take this eyeball. I really like the eyebrow thingy. Don't some people can have their eyebrows like, some people, what do they tattoo? Do they tattoo their lip liner or eyebrows or something people tattoo? Yeah, off the Atlantic. Yep. And they were on the coast and on the East Coast. Donegal. They were in Donegal. About 4 hours from Dublin. But when I first went to visit them, they were living in Dublin. Sean was managing a golf course in Dublin. So I first saw them in Dublin. Be careful, Ann. Be careful. Be careful. That flight was interesting because I got to the airport and they asked me if I would like to upgrade to first class. I couldn't get my credit card out of my wallet fast enough. I said, oh, yes, please. Yes, please. So I pretty much drank my way across the Atlantic. I was not in great shape when I landed, but now it's hard to get a drink on, even if you fly first class. They don't like us. Some people act like assholes when they're flying. Your niece did her eyebrows? So you just kind of tattoo them? I guess it's a tattoo, right? And they're there permanently, I guess. And there's some lip liner. Do people tattoo? It's a weird concept to me. Only because I've never worn makeup. I've never owned a stick of lipstick. I have trouble putting chapstick on. I know. I'm weird. But my senior picture in my yearbook, I'm all decked out. I've got makeup on and my hair's all done. My neighbors behind me did up my hair. It was all puffed and, teased up, and they used beer. I think back in the day they would use beer. They'd wash your hair in beer or something. So I don't know whether I smelled like a brewery when I had my senior picture taken for the yearbook. I look pretty good. I have to say so myself. I'll have to show you a picture of Anne at 18. God, that was a long time ago, right? You know, you remember the yearbook pictures? Everybody had the same. We had like a little black V-neck type of top with a string of pearls, and every single girl had the same from the shoulder up. Everyone looked exactly the same. I'm assuming it's still that way. I don't even know. Do they still do a yearbook? I hope so. I guess I am kind of cheating because I'm doing this. All right, I'm fussy cutting. All right, all right, all right, all right. And you're probably saying, okay, when are you gonna do some collage? Well, you have a sense that I'm stalling. If you have a sense that I'm stalling, you are absolutely correct, Monday. I am stalling. I'm so afraid to, oh, I got this. All right, I got it. My mother used to use beer to set her hair. Yeah, I mean, I guess there's something in the hops. uh, that's weird. What I didn't understand, if you go and have your hair cut or styled, I feel sorry for the hairdressers that they have to inhale all of those fumes. That has got to be a real toll on them to have to. And those ladies that do your nails, oh my gosh, those fumes are wicked. All right. So this is Jigunda. So I don't know why I even pulled it out, except this could be usable in a small sense, right? This little time setter knobby. I think that's what it is. Isn't that the knot. So I shouldn't go too small because then I'm going to be in trouble. All right. Okay. Let's do it. Let's do a tour. Oh, look, we got more of that pattern. Hello, Lily. Miss Lily just arrived. My limping cat. She's got arthritis. Just like me. Okay, here we go. Oh, I've got one more rabbit trail. Maybe, I have to show this to you. Oh, it's horrible. And when she lays around, cats sleep a lot. And when she jumps down, oh man, she limps. And then after about 5 or 6 steps, it kind of subsides. But it's and like she's on medicine. That's why she gets tuna fish. I have to show you this, guys. So I might not get to this, but if I do this, honest to God, I will set a timer and come back and show it to you. I might try it, but I have to show you. This is all Deb Farrell's fault. She's the one that showed me these, and apparently everyone's made these at one point in time. Yeah, thumbs up would be great. And subscribing, but I think everybody here has subscribed to me. She made little tiny pencils out of skewers. The wooden sticks that you put kebabs on. And I couldn't resist. Let me see. Ooh, they are friggin' adorable. And maybe you have all made them before, but they're my little miniature pencils. And we thought it'd be fun to make like a whole set of colored pencils. But there they are. And if you color the tip in whatever color the pen is. And I just thought they came out so cute, little tiny pencils. And I have, to go with the tiny pencils, do you remember when Janet Nash was making these wee little composition notebooks? So I have the little wee composition notebook to go with the wee little pencils. Unfortunately, the pencils don't have any lead in them. Whoop, wouldn't that be cute? But we thought that would you could actually, if you glued these all together, you could make a little, if you had a teacher person in your life, you could put these all together, and make like a little pin or, earrings or something. Mine are all different sizes, and I guess you can make them with a toothpick, right? But they were so much fun. And this is just magic marker. This is magic marker. This is pink Posca, and that's it. Magic marker. That's it. So they are fun. They're addictive. You can't just make one. I'm telling you, you can't just make one. All right. All right. 6:55. And I'm not going to do this tonight, but I will do it. I'm going to do it. And I think I'm going to do all 5. And yeah, because I got some great images, and I will go and get some more images. And these can be real simple. And if you don't even think about it, you got a little gold here. And stick this like here. And stick this guy. I like this guy on the ladder. I could probably, it's really, if you have all the pictures, it's the harvesting that takes all the time. But you got to check out, if you haven't, check out East of Honey. I know it's a weird name, and I don't know what her name is. And she makes some really surrealistic, funny, quirky combinations. And she did one digitally with Photoshop. And Susan turned me on to an app called, this was Town and Country. The May, what the hell I did with it? How could I lose it? It's a huge magazine. It was the May Town and Country, this year, May. East of Honey, yes. Yeah, May. Janet turned me on to an app called Free Mix, and I downloaded it. Not Janet, Susan. Susan gave me the lowdown, told me about Free Mix. I downloaded it, and I'm going to have to watch some sort of how-to. It looks pretty, you can do all of this kind of stuff digitally, but there's a learning curve. At least there is for me. But I want to spend some time with it because it looks pretty awesome, because it's got a free library. Rosie, yes, Rosie, that's it. Rosie the Riveter. No, Rosie East of Honey. Yep, that's her. And she made, and with the Adobe Photoshop, you can literally erase big chunks of pictures and put all sorts of small stuff. And then she did a 3D one, and she did a tunnel book. You cut out the book so you have a tunnel. And I've done some book carving, and that's fun too. So, well, thank you so much for everyone that's been here this afternoon. I appreciate all of you for hanging out with me for a couple of hours and to see what kind of trouble we can get into. But I'm going to definitely, I think I have a nice little harvest here of pictures, and I will create something, and I will set the timer. Honest, I will. And I'll see you next Sunday. And if you can't be good, be careful. That was my mom's advice. Just saying. My mom was a pretty cool lady. All right. Happy Memorial Day, and take care and be safe again. Bye.